Oh shoot, the thing all and it's still going?
Really?
Yeah, I thought I closed it out. Oh, then, yo, y'all can hear me now? Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Check the link, please. See if you can hear. You don't see it?
You talking to me?
No. I asking they did a check it. See if they
Oh,
can hear sound. For God's sake.
hold on. So that one that you sent me. Hold on. Anyway, never mind. I can do it. I can hear you now.
You can hear me now? All right, hold on. Mic check 1 2 1 2. All right, well, look like I probably all the people going in. Let's see. Hold on. All right, so come on. See, you can hear? Y'all can hear now? Jeez. My goodness.
What up?
That was annoying as hell. Jeez,
Sorry, I'm
man.
sorry, bro. I'm
What
sorry.
technology, man. Mother sector.
Bad night, man. Bad night, bro.
Oh, man. Okay, so Kamal still your Lord look like everybody else done gone. All right, let's see.
Oh, man.
All right, but he said he could hear. So I don't know what happened just now. Folks, once again, I apologize. I have no idea what happened. But apparently something was wrong with the sound. People couldn't hear us when we first came on. But it seems to be working now. So we could finally start. We're supposed to start from 8 o'clock, Stevie. Jesus Christ, we really on Bahamian time tonight. But mother sec, 8:22. My lord. But anyhow, you're here. It working now. I could see they could see your face because last time they couldn't see you when we was talking. So
Yeah.
now they can see what you look like. See who this old miserable man is behind these comments. They could put a face to it now. But we here to discuss something now. Steve, you know me long time. You know there's something I've been talking about for plenty,
Word.
plenty years now.
Word.
I've been fighting this battle with Bahamians since 2015.
Yeah.
Whether it be on this platform here, on this podcast, or on many radio talk shows, I would go on and discuss how we as a violent set of people who like to beat up on children. And unfortunately, now we have this discussion again on again tragic terms, because of the unfortunate and tragic passing of Bella Walker last Friday.
Yeah.
And initially I heard about, well, I didn't post anything about it on Facebook because I didn't know exactly what happened. And I find myself doing this a lot lately, which is not just jumping out as soon as I hear something through the grapevine and making a bunch of posts.
Right.
So I decided not to post anything.
Right.
Wanted to wait until more information came out. But what I heard, via social media, WhatsApp, Facebook, was that the initial rumor, what I heard, because when I spoke to you earlier, you said you heard something else, but what I heard initially was that a 4-year-old girl was raped and killed, and then there was a whole outrage following, understandably so.
Right.
A lot of people were on social media, posting how they felt about the issue.
Right.
But it was revealed, I think, yesterday by the Minister of National Security that she passed due to blunt force trauma, broken ribs, internal bleeding. And he said that there were no signs of sexual abuse.
Right.
And so the narrative since last Friday was a whole rape of a 4-year-old. And it turns out that, well, according to the reports, isn't true. And so it's a lot to unpack. We could touch on the abuse part, but we could also we could probably start with how rumors spread so quickly and people hold on to those rumors as the truth. Now, ain't none of us was there, so ain't none of us know what happened. But even after the report came out, there were a lot of people that didn't want to accept the report. It's like they were so convinced that rape was involved, like they refused to accept that there was no evidence of rape. But let me get your opinion, Steve. First of all, how your thoughts on the situation? What did you hear, last Friday, and your thoughts, general thoughts on the situation?
Well, I mean, first of all, I got a 4-year-old granddaughter. That's dear to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing when I first heard about a 4-year-old girl being assaulted, the first thing that went on was my grandbaby.
Right.
I did after I talked to you, I did remember hearing somebody give a horrible description of her genitals. So I did hear that. That was after I talked to her. I was like, you know what? I did hear something like that. And yeah, there was a huge outrage, and everybody want to kill dude, and
Right.
and I mean that was after I heard about assault, before I heard about my thing is, I felt like I'd have been in jail too because I was killing them. I mean I didn't even want the police to even show up. Just
Right.
So I mean that's what I heard, and then afterwards I heard old boy what's his name, Wayne Monroe,
Yeah.
say that there was the blunt force that killed the child, and there's no evidence of sexual abuse.
Right. And like I said, that's what I ain't say nothing until all the information was out, and so
Right.
I want to talk about but it's amazing how fast rumors spread, especially with WhatsApp, Facebook. Like people so quick to jump out the window, and it's not just your everyday people, because I even heard a statement from the Speaker of the House speaking about Bella and rape, and I was like, boy, this, and I think it came out the same day that Wayne Monroe said that there was no evidence of sexual abuse. So I don't know. To me, that seems kind of irresponsible on behalf of the Speaker to say or to insinuate that there was rape involved when there wasn't.
Right.
Because she's speaking from the House as the Speaker. You should be presenting the facts to the people. You know what I mean?
You should know your facts before you say anything.
Exactly. You should know. And it's so dangerous. That's the danger when people put out false information, because you see people get riled up.
Yeah.
And that could cause issues, especially with people getting riled up over something that didn't even take place.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to take away from the tragedy, because it's still tragic.
I mean, dog, think about it, man. A 4-year-old baby. Your son is what, 3?
3? Yes, sir.
Imagine the pain that this child going through with broken ribs, bro. Broken ribs. That's damaging internal organs and causing internal bleeding. Could you imagine the pain that this child was in?
No.
Could you imagine how this poor little angel suffered, bro?
No, I cannot. I don't even like to try and think about. I don't even try to imagine.
I mean, for it to kill her, it took her life, bro.
Yeah.
That's her body shut down because it couldn't handle that pain, bro.
Exactly.
I mean, could you imagine?
No, I can't. I cannot. And I talk to Gio all the time, because he's a fighter.
Yeah.
And he would tell you some of the worst pain you would ever experience is broken ribs. And that's him as a grown man.
Yeah, man. I mean, you can't breathe with broken ribs, bro.
Yeah.
It's hard to breathe. Your diaphragm is right here. That's that muscle right there. You can't breathe because every little breath is extreme pain for you, man.
And we know, little children, their bones are. I don't even know if we could call them bones at that age, because they're so fragile, so soft. You know what I mean? It's like nothing to break those.
So the outrage should be equal.
I agree.
To the same thing as a rape, because man, the pain that he put that little girl through, man, dude, bro, it brought tears to my eyes, man. Thinking about it at the stop, I was like, okay, let me don't even think about this.
Yeah, because you're right, and like you say, it should garner up the same amount of outrage, but for some reason, it doesn't. When it comes to behemoths, you throw sex in something, that's take it to a whole nother level. Not just in these kind of cases, but you throw sex in anything, and that take it to a whole other level with behemoths. I don't know what it is with behemoths and sex, but boy, look, yeah.
Well, what kind of animal is this to hit a child, man, like that?
But look, yeah. I
shouldn't even put in like that, to hit a child and just stop there.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking my language. You see, like I said, I've been fighting this good fight for years now, and I mean, the amount of arguments I've been in with Bahamians when it comes to this issue of beating children. I mean, they will argue and fight to the death to defend the right to beat up on little people.
Yeah.
And I say it like that because that's what it is, and that's how I view it.
Yeah. I got 2 kids.
Mhm.
I never hit none of them. Not one. Not one. My son is a teenage, is preteen now. Ain't no what I can hit him for.
It's like, but it's like, you know, the kind of message you send psychologically when you hit, like how you could bring yourself to do that. You know what I mean?
And bro, I mean, we family, and we both grew up the same way, getting bongi cut.
You got that right. Now, who used to cut the hip in your house?
Sure. Mama.
Why you hesitate on saying the name? You think she can run in there with the belt now?
Running the bell right now and tear me up.
She'll tear your hip up right now.
Mid-50s and I scared.
Oh,
So
Lord.
that drama ain't going nowhere, bro.
Oh, Lord. Big gray man like you scared. Still scared.
Big gray man with grandbabies.
Oh, jeez. But that's, to me, that's a problem, though. It shouldn't be so. And like I say, we grew up like that. And it's like, I don't have it's no hard feelings or anything because I understand. I understand what it was. You know what I mean? Like, I know that my parents, they were only doing what they thought was the right thing to do to get a particular result. Like, it was good intention. It was a bad act. It was wrong. It was abuse. However, I understand that at the time, that's all they know. They don't know no better. And so this is what they resort to. And so I don't hold it ain't no hard feelings. I have a great relationship with my parents, both of them. You know what I mean?
Well, same here, bro. Same here. My mom's my queen.
Mm-hmm. But I could still say what they was doing was wrong.
You know, the hesitancy. The thing is, I say that. Well, yeah. What they did, what happened was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the disclaimer is that, like you said, good, and she was doing what she thought was right and what she saw happen in her family.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a learned behavior, a bad learned behavior. You know, some dudes watch their dad beat up on their mom and end up doing that to their wives. That's you know,
that's all they know.
That's all they learn to do. And
that's normal.
I mean, in our society, and in most societies before the 1970s, 80s, I mean, that was accepted as the norm.
That's still now.
Well, yeah, in Bahamas, yeah.
Still now.
Yeah, it's a sad thing, bro. I mean, dude, I could tell you my corporal punishment. I used to wear 2 pounds going to school.
What? Why you got on 2 pounds, man?
Because I know I was getting cut up that day. I get cut up every day at school.
Why? What you used to be doing in school to get cut up every day, Stevie?
I was an angel, bro. I just had a very, very
really. They just used to beat angels in school back in the day.
Yeah, our teachers are just horrible. They just go around and beat kids.
2 pounds. That used to work?
Oh no, but you know, it was, you know, you thought it was gonna work. So, but you know, it don't work. But the thing is that that's what we're trained. They trained us. They're taught to discipline somebody through physical violence. And look at our streets today. We don't even know how to resolve issues, bro.
Nope. What's the first thing you say? Boy, I could push. I could chop. I could jump. Everything is a threat. Anytime someone gets upset, the first thing is a threat.
Yeah. First thing is physical violence. That's their way of diminishing a person to submissiveness. I tear his head right off, but I mean, when he say nothing to me no more, because I done slap him. Now I own him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they don't understand that foundation is set from young.
Slaves got beat.
Yeah. Like I tell you, people don't like it. But I say, two of the worst things we inherit from the slave masters. You know what they is? Yeah, you ain't like one of them.
Tell me. Oh, religion? Jesus?
Christianity and beating the church.
well, I mean, dog. Well, you know how I feel about. I mean, you know how these talks now. You know how I feel.
Yeah.
I don't call myself that because of what that has done to us.
Mm-hmm.
I follow the teachings of Jesus Christ. I think he was the coolest dude ever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't follow these ritualistic BS
Mm-hmm.
that goes on in these churches
Mm-hmm.
nowadays. But but we digress, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah,
this
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah,
whole
yeah.
this but this whole and the thing is that religion teaches you to physically harm your folk too.
This is what I'm saying, and that's why I say that's some of the worst thing. Because sure, you could find nuggets of good inside there, but there's a lot of bad stuff that people justify their bad deeds by too in there. So it goes both ways.
Yeah,
But
yeah, men. Come on now. I mean, let's keep the physical abuse. My grandpa,
mm-hmm,
when my dad was getting married to my sweet little mom,
mm-hmm,
my grandpa, who used to beat up my grandmother, he told my dad as a young man, he said, "Hey man, you know what? Sometimes
really,
you gotta keep her in check, bro.
what?
You gotta brush her up a couple of every now and then."
God damn.
Yes. Abuse is the norm here, bro.
Well, yeah, I mean, but jeez, I mean, for him to go and tell him like that. But I mean,
Yeah, it's taught. It's taught as that's what you do. That's what
uh,
that is how you keep your woman in check.
and interesting enough, Steve, you say Steve wasn't the one, Steve never used to beat, eh?
My pops would not touch any of his 7 kids.
That is interesting.
He got the thing is with him. Well, oh boy, we going deep.
Yeah.
The thing is with him is that he grew up. Daddy was a little boy during World War II. He was born in 1937. World War II started in 1939.
Mm-hmm.
Ended in 45. So he was still a shorty.
Mm-hmm.
During that time, it was really, 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 really hard on especially the family islands where he lived. And my pops tell me about being a little boy wearing the crocker sack pants. Like
Yeah, I remember you telling me that before. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so he said that one time, man, it was so bad. His bungies out. He trying to go to school as a little boy. He went to his pops, who was a mean SOB, and said to him, "My daddy, I need a pair of pants."
Mm-hmm.
So his pops said, "Okay, go to the store. Let me know how much a pair of pants costs." Let's say the pair of pants cost $3 back in the day. They didn't use dollars, it's pence and shillings or something.
Right.
Whatever that thing says that I ain't know about.
Right.
But let's say it's $3. So he come back and he say, "Hey, Dad, the pants for $4." His dad said, "Okay." Give him the money. My pops go buy a pair of pants. My grandfather goes behind him afterwards, go and see what the pants really cost. Now my pops, remember, he hungry. So he said that he wanted this little extra money because he trying to get a little something to eat somewhere.
Wow.
Nigga hungry.
Right.
He said, when his pops found out the true price for them pants, I think my pops say he was about 7 or 8. He said he gave him the worst beating that he's ever had. I mean, ever. I mean, till his mother had to intervene and fight the man to stop beating the boy.
What the hell?
Yeah. That's the stuff that goes on. But that was the norm. That was the norm. Yeah. So
wow.
we are a barbaric, abusive community, man, and this is what we were taught to be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like we see it on the streets all the time. I mean, all the time, bro.
Yeah, and that's what really upsets me is when you say this to people,
Yeah,
and they go on the defensive like immediately,
yeah,
to defend these barbaric acts. And I know what it is, and like I say, I've discussed this so many times before. It's that cognitive dissonance, right?
Yeah.
It's a battle in their head because on one side, it's wrong, right? But on the other side, mommy love me, daddy love me, Grammy love me. So you trying to reconcile these two things that don't match up. This bad act, but this good person.
Yeah, the conflict.
And so the conflict is just, and so you have to they trying to find anything to try and justify the acts of the people they love.
Yeah, I know a very sick young lady. She's almost 50 now.
Mm-hmm.
that she been getting beat by her boyfriend for years,
Mm.
years and years. I say boyfriend because they never got married, but she got a couple of kids for him.
Mhm.
You know, she tell me straight up when he split her head open one time with a 2x4.
What?
He threw her down the stairs a couple of times. You know what she tell me? She
What
said,
she
"If he
tell
don't love me, he wouldn't beat me."
You mean if he don't beat me, he don't love me?
Sorry, if he don't beat me, that means he don't love me.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Will
So
will
to
you
her, that's the norm.
will
You
you
see,
know a popular politician say that in the House of Assembly before?
man, what,
I ain't gonna,
what do you
you
say?
remember that?
No,
Man, stop
I
it, man.
all
Do
I
you
don't
remember
remember.
that?
Oh, what that
When
fool say?
Leslie Miller was talking about buddy girlfriend?
What that nigga say?
Well, mother sick
What he say?
man.
What he
You
say?
didn't know about that?
I don't remember. What he say?
Oh man, he basically said the same. Like she said, if he don't beat her, he don't love her, and sometimes what did he say something about his hand hurting where he had to hit her so much or something. He say something about his hand hurting in the House of Assembly, mind you,
I remember now.
in the House of Assembly.
And there was no outrage, right?
Outrage. This was like comic view. They boys out laughing. Picewell was cracking himself up on the side of him, cracking himself up.
Oh wow.
And the speaker tried to save him and say, "You joking, you joking." He said, "No, I serious." Yes.
I remember now. I remember now.
Yes. This is who we are, Stevie.
And these are the people we look up to.
Well, you speaking French now? No,
Sorry,
sir.
sorry.
Not
yeah,
me.
yeah, my little French kick in there.
Not me. I don't look up to them, but I know what you mean. Most people tend to look up to the politicians. But yes, in the House of Assembly, they've been bragging about that. So we've accepted violence. See, we accept it to a point.
Right.
And I think the reason why the outrage don't match is because most people don't rape, right? So they could get on their soapbox and say, "Oh, that person, blah blah, blah, they got to kill him, and this terrible person, blah blah blah." But most people is beat,
Yeah.
and so if you have a case where a child is beaten, then it's like, hold on now, I just beat my children.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you can have some that can say, "Well, I don't do like that. I just give him a little tap, or they could justify
right,
their
right,
level
right.
of beating."
I gave him the 3 little cuts and then they
Right.
said dead.
Right, that's still too far, but it hit a lot closer to home
Yeah.
because it's something that they do. Maybe not to that level.
You think that's why it's been kind of diminished in their eyes now? That,
I
well,
think.
he only beat her.
I think. Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, I think that's why it ain't as bad in their mind. You know what I mean? Like to me and you, that all that is bad. The child get killed and shouldn't have. Whether rape was involved or not,
Yeah.
is still a
Yeah.
heinous act.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
And
to
you know,
some
and
people, it's like,
and you know what's funny is we laugh at Americans, right? White
Mm.
Americans in particular,
mm,
when they said I hear stories about the kids calling 911. I'm gonna call 911 on you if you touch me.
mhm.
I with the kid. I wish I could call too. You know,
Yeah.
but we laugh at that
Uh,
because I mean I ain't got no point as to why we laugh at that, but we just a sick society, bro.
yeah. And
Because that's a norm for us. Another problem I got is this whole snitching thing. You know,
the who?
snitching.
Okay.
Ratting people out.
Go ahead.
You know, I read some of the things about some of the neighbors who said, they seen dude abuse the mother, and they seen signs of abuse on the little girl,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of them said, well, we ain't say nothing because it wasn't our business.
We have that culture too. I ain't getting in that. We have I ain't getting in that culture.
Yeah. Now a lot of them folk feeling it
Mm-hmm.
because they're like, mother sick. If I had said one thing, she probably would still been alive.
Right. The guilt hit them now. It hit their conscience.
Yeah.
It hit their conscience.
Yeah.
But that is another big issue we have to deal with. The I ain't getting in, and it's in some ways I kind of understand, because now I'm not saying in this particular case, but sometimes when you, like, for example, let's use, you say your friend, like, okay, the lady that say her boyfriend has beat her or whatever,
Right.
right? So okay, let's say you decide to intervene, right?
Right.
You want to do something. I can tell. I can something I can do,
Right.
and then they end up not only turning on you, but end up right back with the same boy.
Of course. Of course.
You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's like to a degree, I understand why some people take but you know what?
But right. Right.
I
I mean,
ain't getting in that.
it's selective, right?
Right.
But for a child, man, come
Yeah,
on.
for a child. Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
That's why I said
I mean,
I don't see it in this case, but
right. Because my thing is, okay, they say, yeah, they remember when he beat up the girl and locked her outside the house while she was naked. Like you said, yeah, this is in the report in the newspaper. So I'm like, yeah, I ain't getting in that because number one, she could walk away.
mhm.
She could walk away. She could go live somewhere else. She could call the police herself, but she chose to stay in that. But for the little kid, the little girl, that little
Yeah.
girl was sent. She can't fend for herself.
Mhm.
If you see something, man, I say something. Any
I
kid, you
I
see
I
it,
I agree, especially like you said, especially if it's children. Like, come on.
yeah, a child, man. If there's marks on them, my step grandson in the
Mhm.
U.S. He came to my wife one summer, and he had ridges all over him where his daddy beat him with the belt. And the first thing I said to her is, "Did you guys let social services see this?"
Mhm.
And in that case, I was, I'm like, he's a child. I don't care. That's his daddy. Ain't nobody supposed to do that to him.
Right.
And yes, I made sure they reported that dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah, for a kid, I'm a snitch like that, bro.
Yeah, yeah. And see, and that's what I don't like. And the whole word snitching itself, right? What I hate is that because I know
Right,
and I know what
right.
the actual word snitch is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's if me and you say, look here, we gonna go rob this bank or we gonna go do this crime,
Right,
and one of us get catch.
and just talk the whole thing.
Now, if that person talk, that is snitching.
Yeah.
But what we have done, especially, and I hate this in the black community, not just here in the Bahamas, but in America too,
Mm-hmm.
what we have done is we have taken that word snitch and we apply it to good law abiding citizens, regular people doing their civic duty as a citizen who reporting what happened, any crime, and we call them snitch.
Mm-hmm.
And so criminals place that label on good people to get them to stay quiet so they could continue to do their criminal acts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now anybody that reports something, we call them snitch.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and that's our culture.
And I hate that. And that's why crime is so rampant
Yeah.
because nobody won't be a snitch.
No. Well, yeah, you're right. You're right.
But that's a problem because
don't-
you're
they-
not a snitch. You are a law-abiding citizen. You are doing your duty as a citizen. This is what
Yeah.
you're supposed to do. You mean to tell me if your cousin or your friend Bobby live across the road, you see the person who gone in and shoot his mother, kill him, and you gonna be like, boy, I ain't no snitch. I can't rat up nobody. I ain't no snitch. Yeah, Robbie is my boy, and that's my mother. She used to feed me and thing, but I can't snitch. Like, seriously?
Yeah, that's our culture, bro.
But that's what it come to.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it come to.
We are a strange set of people, bro.
Yeah.
I feel I mean, I want to be all racist, right? But but I find that the black culture is one without honor.
Explain.
Okay. Well, okay, number one. Well, we without honor, and then it just it's like honor is it's like all of our dirt is just thrown out in all kinds of other way areas because we lack that honor. I mean, the way we drive, the way we talk to each other, the way we beat our kids, the way we don't abide by simple rules, we lack honor. I mean, honor is the Bible says, or what people call the golden rule. I say the Bible says is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You know, but ours is do unto others before they do unto you. So we like on. I mean, I know it don't got nothing to do with the whole tearing up. I mean, abusing kids thing, but
I
I
mean,
just
it
think
does.
that
I think it does.
I don't know. I just feel like we just so broken, man. As we just so
We are.
broken as a society.
We are, and
Uh,
that's key. Like you say, we broken.
yeah, we broken as maybe it's a human condition
Mm.
and it can't be legislated. But
Mm.
sometimes I look at China and I'm like, man, sometimes I think that they got it right. You know, 'cause,
You
I mean,
sure now?
well, it's extreme. It's in the
Right,
extreme.
right.
But or maybe Switzerland got it right.
Mm. Hmm.
You know, on a system where if you go and jump on a train, there's no God there. Nobody taking your token. Nobody taking your money. They expect you as an honorable person to go to the kiosk, pay for your ticket,
Mm. Hmm.
slide through, and go without being
Oh, really?
without being policed.
Oh, interesting.
Right. And these people do it religiously without anybody policing them. They go to the little kiosk where it's
Wow.
not manned by anybody. There's
Right.
no security guard or police on the train platform. They go, they pay for the thing, go through the little turnstile and jump on the train.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You can imagine if you could do that in Nassau.
Oh my goodness. The whole rail system would just go bankrupt because they ain't nobody gonna pay for nothing.
We got security and they still trying to get
But
over on.
so, I mean, yeah, man. We lack as a people, man. I find it in man. You know, I don't want to be
We
racist.
lack integrity, you mean?
Yeah, 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 man.
Honesty, integrity.
Honesty, integrity,
Mm.
in every aspect, bro.
Mm.
I don't know if that ain't stem from the whole abuse thing. It just it
Well,
just
you born in the 20s. When you think this come from? Like where you think this start from? You know what I mean? You way older than me, so you have a better insight as to when this culture kind of started, bubbling. Do you think it happened in your lifetime where we started to get this way?
yeah.
Can you pinpoint when that took place and what was the catalyst?
I feel like we were better people. We were cleaner. We were a little more respectful to others. I'd say from it. I think it to me it my memories from as a child in the 70s to growing into an adult in the early 80s. That's when I feel like it started to fall apart, and we just became worse and worse as a people.
Yeah, and you know what happened around that time.
No.
You remember the drugs, man.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Wait,
That drug culture.
yeah, that culture that changed us completely.
Mm.
I was a young man during that time.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that's
Because
true.
I always try to figure out like as Barbados, for example. I love we you and me love Barbados,
I
right?
love Barbados.
We love Barbados. And it's like and it's like they have a similar population. I think it's just a little less than ours, but similar.
Right.
But when you look at crime, it's like almost non-existent.
And
They
bro, you
black
can keep going
Caribbean
on.
people just like
Keep
us.
going on. Don't just stop at crime.
With the cleanliness and stuff too. I know you're big
Oh
on
my
that.
God, man. Keep going, bro.
I know you're big on that. But my main focus is be crime because I was like, what is it? That's causing that, like, we so violent and aggressive and criminally minded, and they are not. My wife mouthing off to me saying Nassau people. Make sure distinguish Nassau people.
Oh
She,
no,
she,
no, 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 no,
she
no,
try-
no, no. That spills over
yeah.
into Freeport, Eleuthera. Um,
He ain't so bad on them islands though. He ain't so bad. So I
No,
understand what
it's
she's
so
saying.
bad. We horrible with it.
Yeah, I understand what she's saying. But perhaps that drug culture thing, because Barbados didn't have that. You know, they didn't have drugs running through their country and they're not bringing in the guns and this all the violence and stuff and the fast money and all that. They didn't have that. So I think I was having a conversation with somebody and they brought it to my attention. I was like, you know what, I never thought of that. And perhaps that maybe was the changing in our culture um to why we are now the way we are.
But I
The
don't know.
the drug times.
The drug times did change a lot of people, man. Because I mean, young men started to stop working an honest job during
Mm,
my day. I remember one of my boys. You know, we 18, 19. He started learning to be a mason.
mhm.
Man, the first time he got his hand on some other stuff, that mason stuff, going or doing it, like, he's like, nigga, I ain't gotta do this no more.
God dang.
Yeah, ask me where he is now.
Lock up? Dead?
Dead, dead.
Well, one I know it's one of the two. One of the two. But yeah, it's very interesting. But I wanted to touch on also because again from this situation, um, apparently the perpetrator is the mother's boyfriend,
Right.
and yet again, and I don't know if people remember this. This isn't the first time this has happened.
When you
I
mean
re-
him beat baby girl?
where the boyfriend of a lady beat their children to death. This isn't the
Okay.
first time. I
Yeah.
remember this. I remember this happening before, and I want to say at least on two occasions in recent times. I'd have to probably go back to try and find exactly, but I know for sure is one, and it's maybe another one. But in recent times, this has happened before,
Yeah.
and so what is
Oh,
it?
sure, this ain't no new event.
No, no, it's not. This isn't the first time this has happened. And like I said, I think the only reason why this got so much attention is because of the rape factor. Because I'm sure if that never was in there, it would have gotten some, you know, attention, but it would have been forgotten as fast as those other incidents that took place. And 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 that's a problem in itself also. That's a problem that we are not as outraged for children being beaten to death in this town. And I cannot understand the mind of someone that would like fight that issue to the death. And you know it's the same things they say over and over. Oh, I didn't beat me and never and I hate when they say this stupidness. Well, beating ain't never killed nobody.
Hell, they don't know Bella.
Exactly. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Beating ain't never killed no one. And like I said, she in the face. So whenever they say that stupid, I was like, you know what? You and they'll be the same set that'll say, "Oh, well, I get beaten and I turn out fine." Really?
I was just
Really
watching.
now?
I was just watching something on Facebook where this dude was on trial, young fella, maybe in his early 30s, on
Mhm.
trial because he had burnt his girlfriend's 3-year-old little boy. The little boy was alive. He's alive, fine. But I'm laughing. I'm like not laughing. I'm listening to this dude ask for leniency, because the little, he's alive, and it ain't how they say it happened. I'm like, okay, 3-year-old with third-degree burns to 18% of his body.
And it's go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm like, and you want leniency, nigga? You should be glad that. And let me tell you, I was happy when the judge read off his sentence.
What was it?
Oh my goodness, I think like 200 and some years in prison.
I think that's fair.
I think so. I was fine with it.
Pretty fair,
I was okay with it. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. But interesting, you say his thing was, oh, he's alive. Because I wonder, for the ones that support beating children, like what's the bar? Like, how far should you go when beating? Because it seems like you could beat the child as long as you don't hospitalize them or kill them. It seems like that's the bar right there. Like, now, when you do that, then you're going too far. Any kind of beating before that level is okay,
Yeah, if they
but
could
don't
walk
put
away
them in a
from it,
hospital.
if they
Huh?
could walk away from it and they live,
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah. I mean, even if they got a little limp, you know what I mean? Once they could make it to their room on their own, then
Yeah,
it's fine. And it seems like that's what people buy is. It's like where is the line drawn? You know what I mean? When is too much? When is it too much? And see me, I don't like to play that game at all. I say take it out of the equation
I agree.
completely
I
because
agree.
you leave it to people.
But how would you legislate it?
Now, I thought about this, I want to say a few weeks ago. And the issue, and like goes back to what I was saying earlier. I would approach it with compassion, right? And like I was speaking about our parents, like we look at our situation with our parents with compassion,
Yeah,
whereas we understand the circumstances then. This was all they knew. They had the best intentions. We approach it with compassion. And so I think you should approach this with compassion as well. You don't go to people that believe in it and be like, oh, you's a monster. You beating this child.
right.
I could throw you in jail.
So
Because then
you think you should
I think it's like, for example, I compare it to like, let's say drugs, right? With drug people doing drugs. As opposed to criminalizing the people doing the drugs. They need help. You understand? They need help.
yeah,
So don't
yeah.
throw them in jail. Help them.
So
You need
so
programs to
you
help them.
saying
And so I think it's the
so
same thing with parents. Instead
right,
of throwing the parents in jail, don't throw them in jail. I won't throw you in jail. You need help.
right.
You need some parenting classes.
Education.
Yes. Some education and some training.
Right.
Alternate
Right.
means of discipline and ways to
Yeah, and have facts on how this affects the kid psychologically.
exactly.
How how in the long run, this ain't, you know,
That's exactly what I think. So I think we need to outlaw beating children, one, but it's not a oh you beat the child, you go into jail. It's
right,
more of okay, you were caught, beating the child. You have to go through this mandatory program for this period of time that's gonna assist you with parenting. You understand? And then let's say if it persists or something, then we could look at sentencing or something like that. But the first act once you are caught would be more with compassion to help you get better at parenting because it don't benefit nobody just throwing you in jail. If we were to throw all the parents that has beat their children in jail, then nobody will have parents.
you'll have a whole lot of parents going to jail too.
Exactly. Everybody be in jail. We'll need the whole of Fox Hill, the whole neighborhood would have to be a prison, not just that little piece of thing they got there. You will need the whole of Fox Hill to house these people. And so
You'll have to
I
make
don't think that's the way to approach it.
you'll have to make Elizabeth States the prison.
Yeah, the whole Lizzie got to be the prison. But we don't want that because that don't benefit your society throwing everybody in jail. And like I said, these aren't bad people. I don't think people that beat children are bad people.
No, I don't think
I think they're doing a bad act. Go ahead.
I think that nigga who killed a child is a horrible person.
Yes, he's a monster.
He's a monster. That nigga
He's a
he should
monster.
not be able to come back out.
No. I would feel no way if we got rid of him.
Not
I
at all.
would feel no way.
None. He ain't.
He is
ain't
not
need
in
to
the society in my book.
He ain't never need to see East Street no more.
No, sir.
God
think-
knows. I want that to be a distant memory for him or a far memory.
You could take him out and I wouldn't care.
Right. So
And matter of fact, I think that's what he deserves.
I think so.
Because Bella don't get no second chance. And so he shouldn't either.
Yeah, I agree.
But he is different. That's the real monsters, I ain't talking about him. I talking about your everyday parents that, came up getting cut up, and so they believe this the way, this what we do, your child do something, you gotta cut their hip. And so that's how I would approach it. You ask how do we legislate it? That's how I would approach legislating that. And so outlaw it, but it's not a throw in jail punishment. It's you got to go through these courses. We can help you. We can help you. We understand. We know parent. Come on, Stevie. You got children. I got children. Parenting ain't easy, buddy. It's
No.
difficult.
And lots of times, especially when they hit them teenage years, which you can see in
Oh,
a little while.
oh, Lord.
Hey,
Man, listen, it's just like my dad as a teenager.
lots of times I used to say I hate teenagers, bro. Lots of times I used to say I hate these teenagers, and they were
Mhm.
mine.
Yep.
It wasn't no one else.
Yours.
Mine.
Yeah. So
I
I get it. I know it's hard. And this is
yeah.
why we need to render the necessary help. Because you can't be you're throwing them in jail, you ain't gonna help nobody, buddy. That ain't gonna work. And so that's what I would do. I know if you think that makes sense, but that's what I would do.
I agree with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And see,
So you
my
preaching, bro.
Gasso, boy, I hope I pronounce it probably. My Gasso, say you've been preaching this, Greg. Yeah, we know. Everybody know. Anybody know me? They've been. I been on this hill for years now, and I ain't never come off it. I can die on this hill. You understand? Ain't nobody. I am convinced that there's nobody that can put together a convincing argument to get me to change my position on this because it don't make sense. Beating Lil Sherman is wrong, no matter how you put it. There's no justifiable reason for doing it in my book. None whatsoever. And there's a
Sorry,
reason
sorry.
why we don't
Yeah,
do that to adults.
the water pump on, man. I'm sorry, I'm in the back.
What's going on?
No, the water pump. I got
Oh,
it.
the what?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, there you go. It's finished now.
All right. I was wondering what the hell that was.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, accent. This the balloon guy. No. This ain't the balloon guy, man. No.
Balloon
No.
You the balloon
No, man.
guy?
This ain't him. No, I know what they mean. No. This ain't him. They told me the magician and he's do the balloons and stuff. No. This ain't him. This my cousin. This my cousin Stevie. This who I start this podcast with way back in that was what 2015, 2014, 2015. Very first episode. This who I started this podcast with. So yeah, this ain't him. That's my game name. This
Game
my
in YouTube.
Oh, okay. I got you. All right, cool. But yeah, that's what I think is step one because I see a lot of people talking about sex offender registry. Is the he said this I was mixed up. I was mixed up. This is the guy. I thought he was asking if it was you. This is him. What's going on, babe? You change your name for true? Because I know I ain't recognize this name at all. I was like, babe, who this is? But that's him. Yeah, man, this my boy, man. He been on the show way back, Stevie. He's very, 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 very talented. Yeah.
Big up, brother.
Very, very talented. What's going on? Everything good. He changed your name. All right, cool. But yeah, that's what I would do. That's one of the things I would do. Because like I say, when it was thought to be rape, initially, a lot of people saying, oh, we need a sex offenders registry. And it seemed like that's the one thing people hopping on to try and fix this issue is just we need a registry. And I think Wayne also said, he don't think it's going to be that effective. And
I agree with him because I mean
I agree too.
How many laws are on our book that we don't give a rat's spoongy about?
Right. And the thing is, it's like, yeah, registry. I mean, and just saying that I don't think it will do much is not me saying that I don't think we should still have it. I still think we should have it also, but I don't think that's going to be something that's going to change this issue that we are having. This is
no,
go ahead.
We gotta us as Nasuvians and Trickles to the we have a very weird mindset, bro. Like I tell you, we don't got no honor, bro. Because even let's say you on the registry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the registry comes out, and John Roll on the registry. Okay, then what? The only thing that happened is when he go for an interview for a job, is when that can show up. Oh, he was a sex offender.
Mm.
I mean, in which other capacities are going to show up?
Unless the people want it public. I think they want it to be public where you could go sexoffenders.org or whatever .bs and pull up all the names on. I think that's what they want, to be honest.
Okay, and that makes sense. But other than that, what about when he moving next door to you and you got three young girls? How you gonna know?
Right, and that's it's like I say,
in the U.S. I hate to always compare us to the U.S., but if he's trying to move into an apartment, all of that is on his record, and that could show for the guy who going to be rented from. They be like, oh no, you on this sex, you was a sex offender, bro. I'm down for it. My faith ain't in the legislation. My faith is I have no faith in it being we got nothing's enforced. That's the word. It ain't gonna be enforced. What else? Let me tell you, we got VAT, right? Down to what, 10% now. We got VAT.
Well, in January, hopefully.
Well, okay, all right. Well, we got all of these things going on that we taxing the country on, and they brought VAT in because the country keep losing money. I said, well, all the other things that we could have been enforcing the taxes on, we could have covered up. We wouldn't have needed VAT in the first place. Well, but they don't do it. I mean, how many rich folk, rich white folk, rich black folk, medium people own on property taxes that they don't pay a dime on ever, and we don't enforce it. There's not even an amnesty period no more.
Do you realize?
And it ain't just it's just that we'll legislate till the cows come home. But if you're not getting the people for these offenses and enforcing them,
you're not enforcing it. Yeah.
Then what sense to make? And that's how we are. Again, that goes to that snitch community where, man, you know, and then we're a small community. Man, that's my boy. You know, I can make sure I can let him know that he on this list. So, or I know him. I taking him off of this list. So blah blah. You know, we.
And that's the problem.
I don't got that.
A lot of people saying we don't have the list is because they know a lot of prominent people in society would be on that list, and so that's why.
Then put them on the list.
Well, that's what we saying, but you know, a lot of people feel like that's why he ain't gonna get that list.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I never thought about that part, but and that's another thing. You know, we ain't we don't got no watchdogs in this society. Everybody's scared of being a snitch. I don't know what happened, but your picture freeze. All right, Greg, I lost you. Hey.
Big man.
What up?
Cut off, nigga.
Man, come on.
Power cut off, nigga.
Man, BPL.
And I was on my laptop.
Oh boy. Boy,